to Jason versus the Moon. In this video, we're going to be going over, just real briefly over Elon Musk, Werner von Braun, space and entertainment mixing, which you don't expect to see unless they're trying to, program the masses, because we know real science should not mix with entertainment. And that's what takes place almost all the time, which is what we'll take a look at here. This is we got a photo here from NASA.gov where they're doing simulations on the fake moon surface in Studio 9, I think it is. So you see the guys back here in the background. So you can find that on NASA's website. I always like to start off with a fun picture, so you can see the lights here. I'm not saying this is like from any actual moon footage and stuff. I mean, I know they had to train somewhere and have photos of them training for stuff like this, but I'm just, like I said, I just like the pictures. So let's go ahead and we'll get off of that. That too. Let's start. I was gonna start completely opposite, but let's go ahead and we'll start on the space and entertainment mixing. The last thing we'll move on to towards the end is going to be words and some of the meaning behind them and stuff. So we'll get to that too. It all makes sense, I promise. So 2014, I'm just doing the last 5 years. You can look this up for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them I could find from space.com, actually, whenever I Googled in space movies in 2019. Whatever it is, space.com came up all except for this one, which is IMDb. Yeah, okay, and so, but we can just see starting in 2014, let's just take a look at some stuff and you'll see what we got going on. 2014 is jam-packed with movies for space geeks of all kinds. The Rocket, follows the life of a boy who wants to build and enter a rocket into dangerous competitions in Laos. Here we are for the kids, getting them interested and start the brainwashing, build a spaceship with the Lego movie. Under the Skin, Scarlett Johansson, okay. Just all of these movies. Edge of Tomorrow, I kind of read that. It's like Groundhog Day. Tom Cruise has to keep on, fighting this raging alien war, blah, blah, blah. Still space related. This one I kind of briefly read. I'm not going to do this with all of them, but this one just sounded ridiculous. Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Jones, played by Mila Kunis, is destined for cosmic greatness. Although Jupiter works as a toilet cleaner without much luck, she dreams of the stars. She is the next person in line for an inheritance that could balance the cosmos according to the plot. Because of this, the queen of the universe wants her destroyed. So it just sounds kind of ridiculous, but they're using space as the plot, as the background of the movie. Earth to Echo, Guardians of the Galaxy. I've heard I still hear people talk about that. And I've never in my life seen so many grown men talk about superhero movies in my life. And Guardians of the Galaxy is just one of those ones like, dude, okay, look, check it out, right? If this was meant for children or something, it would be rated G, or it would be on the Disney Channel, or whatever. It wouldn't be it's targeted towards adults big time. And they got a talking fox. I mean, how ridiculous is that? They're bringing people back to their child state of mind, a fantasy and, villains versus superhero. I mean, we're playing the same games, and they have been forever. It's just like when you turn on the television, you turn on the radio. It's the same stuff. The radio plays, any station plays the same 15 songs on repeat. So they're doing that here, and we'll get into to that. This is this is 2015. Once again, look, we're in space.com. The last one, space.com. 10 space movies to watch 2015. The Martian. Okay, that was one of the real big ones that had to do with him actually making it on Mars. I didn't watch it. I don't watch these types of movies. Star Wars, The Visit, Jupiter Ascending, which is strange because I thought we just read that. But either way, it's on there again. Tomorrowland, The Avengers. You can just see how many movies. I mean, think of how much time and how much money it takes to create one movie. And you got, like, look at that, dude. You got so many movies and stuff. And so let's go to the next one, space.com again. And I'm pretty sure it's in their entertainment and news section. Yeah, home, news, and then entertainment. So we're somewhere in that. 11 space movies to watch in 2016. Now, we're going to read this because this is kind of what tripped me out. When things are criticized, and especially when we're talking about, what I say we're in, 2016, I mean, still, that's just a few years ago, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The year 2016 won't be much of a year for realistic space movies, but Apocalypse, beloved franchises like Star Wars and Star Trek, and romance on an interstellar stage will make for a year of epic adventure. Blah, blah, blah. Moonwalkers is mainly what I was wanting to get to, and I bet you money. Okay, there we go. I'm going to just go ahead. Moonwalkers. Start off the year with this weird satire based on a real conspiracy theory, apparently. And look, they put the little things there to make it actually like a sad face, which is so stupid and childish. Now I know it's supposed to not be, it's a satire. A CIA agent is directed to hire Stanley Kubrick, legendary director of 2001: A Space Odyssey, to fake the moon landing in case the Apollo astronauts don't make it. When the real director proves elusive, the filming must go on and hijinks ensue. Haven't watched it. But the fact that they're making it is, they put the truth in the movies and lies in the news, and please do your own research to figure that out for yourself. But I promise you, it's apparent. So there's a chance that, and this is one of the theories going around. I'm not saying I believe it 100%. I know the moon landings didn't happen. Check out Bart Sabrell's Astronauts Gone Wild, and also a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. And then Aaron Ranen's Did We Go? Man, watch those and you'll know we didn't go. The Fifth Wave, Laser Team, The Last Man on the Moon. So we, hitting the moon and Mars. Independence Day. I didn't even know they still made more of that shit. Star Trek, The Space Between Us. Okay, we're just going to skip on pretty quickly through the rest of these because it's just, at this point we're just showing here is, 9 exciting space movies. I mean, they'll do it about anything. It's like, they'll meet so it's like the housewives, or maybe it's like well, either way, they're probably the wives of the astronauts, and it's their story. But I mean, it looks straight up NASA just on the ground, a rocket in the background. This is propaganda all around, and not just that one. I'm just saying they're like, how many guys in reality are gonna go watch this movie when it's really directed towards women? Meet the women you don't know. Behind the mission you do. Excuse me. Women are gonna see this, so they're trying to hit all genres and age groups and women, men, children. And we'll get into why that matters, here in a moment. The Space Between Us, Life, and they always use. I mean, it's just everyone is just. It's all faces you've seen from all types of shows and movies. So it just goes on and on like that. So we got 2018. This is the one I couldn't find on space.com, so I just went ahead and went with imdb.com. Prospect, Solus, High Life, the Cloverfield Paradox, AI Rising. So they're kind of hitting on sci-fi. I guess maybe they're space related on there and stuff, but artificial intelligence, which we know is really booming right now. I mean, they got Microsoft putting out commercials for it on TV and all over. So Forsaken, Alone in Space, First Man, The First Man. Not only are they, gosh, they're getting really, I mean, they're really grasping at straws here just for names. I mean, is that the best we can do? I mean, just right here you can see the lack of variety. And then they just show you, I mean, it's two people in a helmet. It's a guy in a helmet. It's a guy in a helmet. I mean, get over it, man. Do something original for a change. Avengers, my gosh. Back to the childlike state of mind is like I said, I mean, you've got something that we know it's fake, and we know it's just entertainment or whatever, right? But I mean, it's you know what? We'll talk about that here in a minute. But it's still it's insane to me that that we've got grown adults buying shirts and toys and posters or what. I don't know what people buy of this stuff anymore because I haven't bought it since I was in my like early teens when I played with like action figures and stuff, right? But it's all over the place and people are still eating it up. Guy in a helmet. How boring. Guy in a helmet. Yeah, we know. And then let's get on to 2019 and see, like, what do we got going on so far this year, all right? I mean, it's October. We're getting towards the end of the year, but still. Here's a list of some of our most intriguing space movies to look out for in 2018. It says 2019, so I don't understand that. Anyway, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, Chaos Walking. I'm really kind of confused. Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, Ad Astra. Okay, well, so we are in 2019. Ad Astra. Of course, we know Brad Pitt had that interview with an astronaut on board the ISS, and Brad Pitt was in NASA, headquarters or somewhere, doing the interview, which was televised and recorded. You can find that on NASA. I haven't watched the whole thing. I just get into more, I don't know, what I consider important things, because that's another example of them mixing entertainment with real science. Why does Brad Pitt need to be on there doing anything? Why? Because he just made a movie about space. I don't know. Does that qualify him as somebody to interview an astronaut? I guess I'm not saying that Brad Pitt's an idiot. I mean any person should be qualified, but it's like, well, when you get like another video I showed where you basically just have these astronauts on board the ISS doing interviews of West Point cadets, Virginia students, kids all over different schools and things like that, right? They get asked the most mundane, and it's a monotonous string of questions. It's all the same. How do you brush your teeth in space? How do you sleep? All these things, like, okay, yeah, a child will ask that, but you find it really becoming like the questions are written for all these people, and it's just the same crap. So I don't know. I'm sure that Brad Pitt's interview is at least a little more exciting than that, but I've never watched it completely. So maybe I'll get to that. Men in Black International, I mean, they're just going too far with it. Men in Black was cool the first time. Star Wars, I don't even have words for that. I mean, even the originals, like, weren't to me like the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know they're classics, but just to continue go, I mean, December 20th, 2019, more Star Wars, lack of variety. So you can see we're just kind of getting hit with entertainment and space all the time. In fact, let's go to space.com/entertainment. And you can see Entertainment, let's check out some of the latest. Musical theater and Mike Pence, don't care. See the evolution of SpaceX's rockets in pictures. Okay, the Space.com community is back. Timex celebrates space history with new NASA logo type wristwatch. That doesn't matter to anyone. The good thing, at least they put it on the back because no one can see it when it's on their wrist. Oh, well, they got it on the front, so you're screwed. Okay, now check this out. Star Trek's Short Trek's review. Did Spock just laugh in Q&A? Not going to read it, not going to click on it, but I mean, Star Trek, and I don't know if y'all have ever seen, I'm going to give a shout out to Crow 777. He does an interview with another guy, I think it's Houston Skywatch, and I lived in Houston, and I've been on NASA Road, and that's where they have one of the space centers, Johnson Space Center, and he does an interview there, and then he shows you when he goes into the actual place where you can take the tour of the inside, and they have like a large section dedicated to Star Trek in the NASA place. Why? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me at all. But anyway, you can just go and check this out for yourself. We're still, look, Star Trek again, like Star Wars. What they're pushing and propagandizing. Don't care if that's a word or not, because I like to use it sometime. Propagandizing and commercializing, and that's what they do. So that's enough for that. Let's see where we're going to go with this next. Well, let's go on to words, man. You're going to see that this ties in for a handful of reasons. My computer's going slow, but I can talk and fill in the gaps. I typed in, what does the word programming mean? Okay, the action, we don't care about that. I read the programming, and then it comes down to program, and it's the same, it's part of the same word. Now, are you and me not robots in a sense? Do we not wake up, put on our clothes, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, take a shower, eat dinner, go to sleep, rinse and repeat? And we do it all for low wages. That's another video down the line. But we are machines in a sense. So input instructions for the automatic performance of a task into a computer or other machine. I think that applies, but really going here is program could mean cause a person or animal to behave in a predetermined way. Okay. We're going to talk about indoctrination, the process of teaching a person or a group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically, meaning they're not going to criticize or question or think for themselves. It's kind of like you're a student, there's 20 students in the class, and the teacher says 2 + 2 = 5. And then one student stands up and says, no, the answer is 4, and he's ostracized, he's laughed at, and he's told that he's a fool, right? Okay, because he's critically thinking and saying, no, that can't be right. But everyone else, the other 19 students, they're just accepting the set of beliefs that are being told to them. I wouldn't even call it teaching anymore, really. And I haven't talked with anyone within the school systems, but I wouldn't put my kids in public school, because indoctrination is all they do. If a school system takes 1 penny, $1, whatever, from the federal government, that government, our federal government, has a say in what happens with that school. I'm sure it has to do with their curriculum too. Cognitive dissonance, I should maybe put in every single one of my videos, and I've mentioned it on several, but the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. I find that's a lot of people within my very small circle, but that's not their fault, and I have it too. I'm sure. I mean, we all do. There's things that are hard to change your mind on. So it's, I'm not going to be one-sided and say everyone has this but me. I mean, we've all got it. It's human nature. I mean, but we need to understand that, when facts are put forth that discredit what you've believed for 10 years, 20 years, your whole life, you have to be able to have an attitude change and be able to accept, what's actually fact. All right, so let's move on to brainwashing. The process of pressuring someone into adopting radically different beliefs by using systematic and often forcibly means, often forcible means. That could be put in with programming to input to cause a person or animal to behave in a predetermined way. In fact, those probably kind of go a little bit hand in hand. And that's a lot of what's going on with these movies. And that's why I brought up the words, right? All these movies, 8 science fiction movies, space movies, all the way leading up to now. It's part of, in my opinion, brainwashing. Now, are they forcibly making someone watch these movies? Well, of course they're not making someone watch them. It's just that entertainment is part of the American way. You get up, you go to work, and then you go spend all your money on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? And some people. I mean, dude, people go to movies like nobody's business. I'm not one of them. But let's just do this together real quick. Because we just need to, it's real simple. If my computer will work. No, I don't want eBay. What does... let's just go, yeah, I've already got it here. What does the word entertainment mean? The action of providing or being provided with amusement or enjoyment. An event, performance, or activity designed to entertain others. The act of receiving a guest or guests and providing them with food and drink. Okay. So entertainment and I don't know. I had looked at this before. I'm gonna say that entertainment's probably really not even the best word. Let's just look up something else and show you. Bread and circuses. This is a little bit better. This is, forget entertainment, all right? Bread and circuses, a diet of entertainment or political policies on which the masses are fed to keep them happy and docile. That's a little bit better of a term, so we'll use that in its place, because that's what we are as a nation right now. Is we're divided nonstop by religion, by politics, by football teams. Anything and everything, race. We can't help what color we were born, yet they want to use it all the time to divide us. And that's part of the plan. And then what do they do to fill up the gaps? They give us a diet of entertainment. Movies, TV shows. I don't even know about music anymore, because when I do accidentally turn on the radio, where I'm like, you know what, let's see what's on the radio, it's still stuff from the 90s and early 2000s. So it's like new music's not even coming out, apparently. Governmental. Now, if you talk about governmental, it says you type in that whole word, relating to or denoting the government of a country or state. But if we go to govern, and we've seen this again with astro and not, if you'll go check out that for yourself, the word astronaut means one thing, and then if you break down astro and then the word N-A-U-T, not, and put those together, it really should mean astro. They should be calling them astro travelers, because the word not is in reference to water or ships. But here the word govern is control, influence, or regulate. You have a governor on your vehicle that it does not allow you to go above a certain speed limit. It will regulate your speed. You will hit, say it's regulated for 100. You hit 100, 101, boom, it kicks you back down, 5 to 10 miles per hour. You can't go any further. So govern, control, influence, or regulate. Mental, relating to the mind, carried out or taking place in the mind. So you can put those words together and see that governmental does not really, to me, okay, it doesn't mean relating to or denoting the government of a country or state. It means to control or influence the mind. You understand? So that's just something to consider. I'm showing you here. that's just what some of this is, you know. So those words have meaning. Why do they want to make them different when put together than their actual meanings? So, you know, it's like saying sidewalk means, uh, means right down the middle and run. I don't know. It's just completely ridiculous. They just change up the words when combined together. Okay, and so here's what we have on this: is Werner von Braun novel may have predicted Elon Musk. There are probably many of you who have heard of this before, and I just don't know if I believe in a coincidence like this. But here's a little excerpt from the book Project Mars: A Technical Tale from von Braun. The Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted the laws to be administered by the Elon and his cabinet. This goes on to say Elon, that name sounds familiar, so does the connection to Mars. Where have we heard of this Mars linked being named Elon before? And if you remember hearing about this, then great. But also just thinking about this, I mean, the fact that the name Elon is attributed to a science fiction book about Mars, and now we have Elon Musk, who SpaceX, space exploration technologies, doing business as SpaceX since 2002. All of a sudden, they're making rockets every other month or every month. They're doing things no one's dreamt of. So they say. And then they're talking about going to Mars and putting, people on Mars and all this kind of stuff. And his name is Elon Musk. It's just super strange. So look into that for sure. Just want to be the kind of person who pushes the door open for you to kind of go and look at these types of things. But yeah, you can just check it out. It's real interesting when you think about it. So let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, so here we've got the spacereview.com. This is an article remembering Werner von Braun. And we're just going to go to the bottom because I didn't want to just show an image right off the bat. I wanted to show that it's actually documented, at least on the spacereview.com article. What they say here is von Braun, a lifelong Lutheran, was a believer in intelligent design in the universe long before it became a catchphrase and a lightning rod of debate. For me, the idea of creation is not conceivable without invoking the necessity of design. It is in scientific honesty that I endorse the presentation of alternative theories of the origin of the universe, life, and man in the science classroom. It would be an error to overlook the possibility that the universe was planned rather than happening by chance. Basically, look, it says here, the ability of Earth to sustain intelligent life, which in turn was capable of creating machines designed to explore the moon and the planets, was clear evidence to von Braun that man and his universe were the creation of God. It was for that reason von Braun chose, with his advancing terminal illness, a modest gravestone to cite one of his favorite passages of Scripture. His gravestone reads, Werner von Braun, 1912 to 1977, Psalms 19:1. That Scripture is, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. And a lot of people also know that too, but if you don't, I mean, you really need to be thinking about this. This is the guy who really was the main rocket engineer for NASA, and he's a Nazi, a rocket scientist. Worked hand in hand with NASA and JPL and all that kind of stuff, and really was part of the founding of the United States, space projects and everything with NASA. So he was around at the foundation when that began, and that's really crazy because you're talking about a guy who supposedly is building these rockets that are sent to space for all kinds of shit, right? But then on his gravestone, he has a scripture saying the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. Now, I'm not a religious person at all and stuff, but that is super weird. So I don't know. It seems like it's kind of like, without saying it out loud to the world, obviously, before he died, then he just wanted to put it on there. So there's open to interpretation possibly, but I mean, not really. Why would he mention anything about the firmament? It's kind of his way of saying we can't go further than that possibly. And just so you can see, on the King James Version, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So that's a trip, dude. Super crazy. What else have we not touched on? Let me do one last thing, because I wanted to find, this is closer, if not the exact definition of entertainment I was looking for earlier whenever I used bread and circuses, which is still relevant. An activity that is diverting and that holds the attention. Holds the attention is the main point I was trying to get at with entertainment. It holds your attention, and that's what it's meant to. It's meant to do that. And the point of all of this, all these words, if you just go back and watch, or go back and look these up for yourself, and then you see this kind of stuff on space.com of all places, 10 space movies to watch. I mean, they're putting all this stuff in the entertainment, and it's just ridiculous. And we've gone over these, but just remember, I'll put the links in the description for all this, even though you can really just Google it and stuff. But got to give credit where credit's due, because I didn't put these take the time to put these in order. So, but the point is we're being programmed, we're being brainwashed. The people don't mind indoctrination because they don't even know what it is. Cognitive dissonance is at an all-time high, in my opinion. I've talked to family, mostly family, and they just don't. I don't know. They don't seem to get it when it comes to all this stuff going on, faking space and all the money they're making by doing it. So just check all of this out. Let's leave off with just some kind of a picture. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, I like this. Let's go with this one, because I love to know that the Cassini probe had a camera. Of course, it had all kinds of different filters and different things like that, but it also had an almost, not even one, but almost 1 megapixel camera, because it was built in 91 or 92, and that's to the extent that technology was at that point. And apparently it took this right here, so check that out. So just remember, guys, when you're seeing Brad Pitt giving interviews to some astronaut that's apparently on board the ISS, it's just ridiculous. It's all for show. I mean, everyone in the world knows who Brad Pitt is. So when you get someone who's as famous as him to do anything with someone like NASA, it's going to draw attention, and that was their plan. They're trying to draw attention. This is why they're pushing the space movies so hard right now, is because when they can get everyone accustomed to seeing space movie after space movie after space movie, all the space travel that they're supposedly doing becomes, it's kind of, it becomes normal everyday life. You don't question it as much. It becomes where you can't distinguish reality from fiction. And so that's what their purpose is in doing all these movies about space, is to kind of get your mind accustomed to it. And then when they go and they fake the Mars mission or the moon landing that they're doing, 2020 and 2024, which is going to more than likely, if they go forward with it, going to be all CGI and the best that you've ever seen. That's what they're setting you up for, because you're going to have people question a lot less, and they're just getting us conditioned and brainwashed and programmed. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. Have a good one.